What's going on, guys, and welcome to Saving Skylands. I'm Victor, as always, and this is the first time I've recorded something in over 2 weeks, so this feels a little new. It's been a while, but what's better than to come back with a collab that I'm barely in? Coming Clean Gaming actually contacted me and asked if he could do some fight analysis, which sounded very interesting. Some in-game, post-game, pre-game. I let him have it. So I recorded the gameplay and everything, and then he did his analysis on the fights, and it's truly very interesting, and I've watched it several times, and I have to watch it again when I edit this, which isn't a problem because I found it very interesting. So stick to the end, watch all the analysis, and let us both know how he did and how we did, because I'm the one who played with the Skylanders. So anyways, off to CC.
Hello everyone, my name is Coming Clean and I have a YouTube channel called Coming Clean Gaming. I am very happy to be here on Victor's channel Saving Skylands for our second collaboration video. Since Victor and Liz like to duke it out on the battlefield, we're today going to do some 1 versus 1 matches with pre-game analysis and commentary by me. We have a total of 3 matches featuring classic core Skylanders from Spyro's Adventure. I am very excited for this, and we are starting off right away with a match between Spyro and Zap. Dragon versus Dragon. Who will come out on top? This is an interesting matchup since we have 2 very mobile characters here. Spyro has the ability to fly for increased speed and armor, and also its ram ability for quick approaches. Zap has his Electro Slime and his Wave Rider abilities, which both give him bursts of speed. However, in close quarters, Spyro will most likely have the upper hand thanks to the aforementioned ram ability and not to mention his very powerful ground pound. I expect Zap to try to keep his distance when fighting Spyro and try to disrupt his approaches with electrified slime, harass him with his wave attacks to have a quick cooldown, and ride a wave to safe distance if needed. Let's start the match to see what happens. Okay, the first game is underway. We have Spyro versus Zap on Treacherous Beach. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, there's an initial exchange here on the bridge. Both players are using their projectors from afar, but Spyro gets trapped in the slime there, and Zap begins an onslaught with his main attack and his wave attack. But now Spyro's on the run, but he gets trapped in the slime again. What a great play by Zap here. And Zap is retreating over the bridge. He does get some slime, but is electrified, and this is so much damage on Spyro with nowhere to go. What a great play by Zap there. Now the fight takes to the beach, and Spyro gets trapped there again in the slime. There's a so tight game, but Zap does manage to come out on top. What an exciting first game. Let's watch some highlights here in the replay. At this first exchange, we can see that they are using their main tools for damage dealing. Zap using his main attack and his wave attack, and Spyro is using his fireball and his ram ability. But here he does get trapped in the slime. Spyro gets trapped here by Zap, and he slows him down so much that he can't use his ram properly, and he's losing a lot of damage potential here. And this is probably the play that won Zap the game. He fakes a retreat here over the bridge, but he does get the slime out. That gets electrified, and this slows Spyro down, and it damages him a lot. And then the fight takes to the beach, and even though Spyro has a life lead, Zap uses another electrified slime to give him the edge in this last exchange that he does manage to come out on top of, just barely. But the first game goes to Zap. What a great game. Let's move on to the second game. That was game number 1, and we're moving on to game number 2, where Camo and Vornado will clash together. Let's analyze what could happen in this matchup. This will be very interesting too, since we have Vornado, one of the most mobile Skylanders in the game, versus Camo, who lacks any sort of movement enhancing abilities. Vornado has his tornado attacks that deal good damage but move very slow, so he will probably want to get up close with his spin attack before launching tornadoes. He will there, however, be an easy target for Camo's devastating melon fountain attacks as well as his main attack. Camo's biggest challenge will be to predict Vornado's sporadic movement to find opportunities to use his firecracker vines, and Vornado will have to adopt a hit-and-run tactic to avoid his opponent's most damaging attacks while still dealing consistent damage up close. Let's see how the match goes. Okay, we are on Treacherous Beach again for game number 2. Camo versus Vornado. A very exciting matchup. Like I mentioned before, 2 very different playstyles from these Skylanders. We have an exchange here on the bridge. Yeah, those tornadoes are way too slow. Even though Camo isn't a fast Skylander, he has an easy time avoiding those tornadoes. He uses a melon fountain here, and now Warnado makes a great play, taking the fight to the beach here where he has more room to maneuver. He takes a hit and two from the melon fountain there, but he just is up there in Camo's face, and Camo can't seem to use his firecracker vines properly. And now Warnado seems to be retreating to the upper platform here, and Camo is in pursuit. And here Warnado loads up a tornado, and it hits. Oh, what a great play by Warnado! He's trapping Camo up there in the room with very little room for him to maneuver. And now he's escaping here again over the bridge. The firecracker vines just can't seem to hit, and now Warnado is all up in Camo's face. He does take a hit or two again from the melon fountain, but now he's using his tornado attack, and it will be enough. Yeah, it was barely, but Warnado manages to come out on top. What an exciting second game that was too. Let's watch some highlights from the replay. Yeah, the first big play was probably here, where Warnado drops down from the bridge to the beach, where he has much more room to maneuver, which suits Warnado much better than the narrow area up here on the top. As clearly shown here, the firecracker vines are just too slow to hit the very fast tornado, and they also can't hit targets that are too close. Camo did use an overall good tactic with melon fountain attacks at the appropriate times, but his firecracker vines, which is his most powerful tool, they just don't work in this matchup because Warnado is just too quick. And one key moment was probably here, where Warnado retreated to the upper section and he was anticipating Camo to fall, and he loaded up a tornado with impeccable timing. He unleashed it and trapped Camo here in the small corner where he has very little means of escaping. And he just kept engaging Camo close here on the upper platform, and even though it was a close game, I think those tactics we have showed it from Warnado did give him the win. What a great game number 2. Let's move on to the next game. That was an interesting game number 2, and now moving on to the final game, which will pit Cinder and Prison Break against each other. These Skylanders represent two very different playstyles. Which will prove to be the better one?
Prison Break has a below average speed and no movement abilities, but he does have some tools to control the battlefield. Cinder has both a flight ability and a shadow dash, making her far more mobile, and she will most likely have an easy time staying away from Prison Break's crystal eruption attack. Her main attack, however, has a limited range, putting her right in the danger zone of Prison Break's beam attack and his crystal shard ability. The key to Prison Break's success will be to place shards at key positions to cover as many of Cinder's angles of attack as possible. Will that be enough, or will Cinder's sheer mobility and quick dashes prove too much to handle? Let's find out.
And now we have the last game, Prison Break versus Cinder. This will be a very interesting game for sure. Yeah, what a great starting play by Prison Break, dropping a shard and his beam attack, but now Cinder manages to destroy it quite quickly, but Cinder does get hit by a crystal eruption. I didn't think those moves would hit. Oh, look, Prison Break trapped Cinder between him and a shard, making her an easy target for another crystal eruption. It just seems that Prison Break does seem to hit those crystal eruptions, but Cinder's main attack just deals so much damage, and Prison Break can't seem to get any shards hits in, and that was actually quite a convincing win for Cinder. Alright, she had almost half her life left. Let's watch some of the highlights in the replay. Yeah, it was a great play here in the beginning. Prison Break dropped a shard, blocking Cinder's means of approaching, and the beam attack does get a damage increase when shot through the prism. This was a great play, but the shard was easily destroyed by Cinder, who just sweeps in and engages Prison Break up close, and as you can see here, the beam attack can't hit Cinder when she's this close. This is very bad for Prison Break, who has to rely most of the game on his crystal eruptions, but it just isn't consistent enough damage, not compared to Cinder's onslaught with her main attack. And as you can see in the game overall here, Prison Break just can't seem to hit with those shards. They deal a lot of damage when they hit, but Cinder is just too quick with her flight ability and her shadow dash attack. And also Prison Break's beam attack works very inconsistently too, so Cinder just deals that consistent damage that you need, and she takes home the win. Yes, this was an exciting game for sure, but that was the last game for this session. Those were all 3 matches. Thanks a lot to Victor for having me on the channel, and thanks to you and Liz for recording the matches. I truly had a lot of fun making this video. If you're interested in more content from me, then I'm sure that Victor, being the nice chap that he is, left a link to my channel in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Back to you, Victor.
So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you for coming, Clean Gaming, for coming on my channel and showing your analysis skills. If you guys enjoyed this kind of content and you enjoy Coming Clean's content, head over to his channel. There will be a link in the description, as always, when I do collabs. And make sure you go subscribe to him, watch all of his content. And he plans on doing more like this in the future. So, obviously, go check that out because I love these kind of videos. Also, Skylanders, so nothing gets better than that. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.